Inside the Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Providence, Rhode Island, documentary filmmaker Tim Gray is honoring World War II veterans.
When you saw the faces of those Dutch people, women, children, could have been your own people, then you knew why you were there. Then you knew why you had to kill them.
It's applause long overdue, and it's why Gray left a successful career as a TV sportscaster to reconnect with a childhood fascination.
When I was 6 years old, I picked up one of those World War II encyclopedias and was just fascinated by the time period and the personal drama. I mean, you had good and you had evil, you had heroes, you had cowards, you had just amazing stories from both the Pacific and Europe.
Gray was especially fascinated with the men who willingly risked their lives as teenagers to join the battle. Building upon the tools of a skilled journalist, Gray quickly transformed himself into an award-winning filmmaker.
For 5 years, Germany had left behind a trail of death and oppression across the countries of Europe. It was now time to end Nazi aggression. Operation Overlord was about to begin. American youth signed up for the fight by the millions.
And it goes back to writing. I think it's just all about how to tell a story and learn from some great people and some great TV markets about how to tell a story, how to tell it concisely and get the facts in there and make it entertaining and make it something that people want to watch.
Mission accomplished. His first 2 films ran on PBS stations nationwide, and Gray was honored with Emmy Awards for both.
Battles are won really in the hearts and the minds of the soldiers who are fighting them.
Allied Supreme Commander General Dwight D. Eisenhower was placing the future of the world squarely in the hands of soldiers just old enough to drive a car or take a sip of beer.
The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. We will accept nothing less than full victory.
The way I feel is anybody that said they weren't afraid is a lot of baloney. I mean, I was scared.
This is the supreme moment of invasion. This is frontal assault on an entrenched enemy.
Well, when you think about it, you know, an entrenched enemy in pillboxes, looking down on the beach with machine guns and cannon, and those soldiers crossed that beach. It took an awful lot of guts.
All of a sudden, bullets were hitting on the side of the ship and the water, and I looked into the well of the boat, and there was 35 soldiers in there, and I don't think there was an atheist in there because every one of us was making a sign of the cross as we were going in. And the soldiers started pouring out, and I seen them dropping. I seen them getting shot. God, it was an awful sight. The sight I'll never forget. It's been in my mind since. This is the first time I ever talked about it. I hope it's my last.
I never said much about it because I don't want to keep remembering it. You know, the less I talk about it, the better it is.
Perhaps Gray's greatest skill is his ability to get veterans to share their painful stories. He does that by earning their respect. He does that by doing his homework.
You know enough that I think they appreciate you've done some research into it and know what they went through and the enemy they faced, the conditions they fought under. It just really goes with knowing where they fought, and I think that you develop a relationship right off the bat.
Gray knows World War II vets as well as anyone alive and says their most prominent personality trait is not their bravery, but their humility.
When they fought in the war, they didn't complain. When they came home from the war, they didn't complain because they went through the Depression. It was a bad time in the 1930s. So, you know, their parents taught them, you do a job, you do it right, you finish it, and you move on to the next thing. So that's the biggest thing I've learned is that these men and women looked at this as another job.
Telling their stories is anything but another job for Gray. He has 4 more World War II projects in development, and he's working against the most important deadline of his career.
My deadline is that these guys, these men and women, are passing away at a rapid rate. And they're at the point in their lives where a lot of them are willing to share their stories now, if asked. They generally don't volunteer, but if they're asked, they're willing to share their stories. So, yeah, I mean, I'm up against it. Most of these guys, men and women, are going to be gone in the next 5 to 10 years, and then it's all over.
Until then, he's pursuing World War II vets all over the globe, helping them return to the battlefields that claimed the lives of their friends, shaped their lives, and preserved our way of life.
So peaceful. The price that was paid for this.
Not a bad day's work for a former TV sportscaster who had the courage to take a chance and chase an even bigger dream.